Now, this video is going to talk about the amazing, huge influence of fasting on your genetics, your genes. What's a gene? It's your blueprints or code or instructions for building proteins. Now, I'm not just talking about muscle or tendons or ligaments. I'm talking about the little proteins involved in all the biochemistry in your body, from making hormones, neurotransmitters, to releasing stored glucose for fuel. So you have millions and millions of these proteins, but they have to be instructed of what to do. And when someone does fasting, some magical things happen to your genetics. Fasting is just one, but a very important epigenetic influence over your genes. Now, what does epigenetic mean? Epigenetics is something above genes. It's the thing that controls your genes. Your genes can either be turned on or turned off, upregulated, which means turned on, or downgraded, turned off to a certain degree. So fasting is a very potent trigger for turning on or turning off these genes. Now, there are certain genes like this one right here, CFHR1 gene, which gets massively upregulated when you do fasting. And this is the gene that helps you regulate cholesterol. Now, the sirtuin gene, which is anti-aging, also gets turned on and upregulated when you fast. Yet, at the same time, there are other genes that get turned down. One being the APP gene, which is responsible for making amyloid plaquing, which you see in Alzheimer's. So you can read between the lines, fasting will help decrease this plaquing. Then you have some other interesting genes right here that are overexpressed when you get certain types of cancer. These genes are downregulated. This is why fasting is so vital if you have cancer or if you're trying to prevent cancer. If you haven't seen my video on an interview of someone who had stage 4 cancer who now doesn't have any cancer, I'll put a link down below with that interview because it's quite amazing. He did some massive fasting, different variations of fasting. He did 1 meal a day, sometimes he did 7-day fast. He even did another fast that was over 40 days, which you really need to know what you're doing, but he did it and now he is cancer-free. But you can start getting benefits from fasting at a 16-hour fast. At 18 hours, you're going to get a little bit more benefits. At 1 meal a day, you're going to get even more benefits. So fasting affects your genetics. Fasting also stimulates something called autophagy, which is your body's ability to recycle damaged proteins as well as clean up microbes and viruses out of the body. Fasting drops inflammation, supports the immune system, specifically the stem cells in your bone tissue. Fasting will help you build up your antioxidant networks. Your body actually can make antioxidants, and you build up this network when you fast. Fasting builds up the cellular stress resistance. It makes your cells resistant to stress. Fasting not only helps with the metabolic syndrome, Syndrome X, but it will increase your metabolism. It can actually reverse the degeneration of brain cells. It's quite amazing. There are also certain genes that get downregulated that can trigger bipolar, as well as downgrading certain genes that are responsible for depression. This is why you get mood elevation and so many cognitive improvements. So on that note, I put a link down below of exactly what you need to do when you start fasting. Check it out.